is their quick sight, right?
Yeah.
So it just has a front and then just the post here.
Okay.
It's pretty damn quick, but I'm hitting 8 out of 10 every time.
Really?
Yeah, for whatever reason, like 7 and 8 keep going left and right, but that's on me.
Well, it's got a shorter, you know.
It's interesting. It's an interesting sight, but I think it's better than shooting a traditional 3. Really? Because that's what this one is, and I feel like I'm definitely hitting more with the other one than this fucking thing. Because, you know, you gotta...
What is this?
It's a Caracal.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Right? Has really no texturing, but look how low that thing sits.
Yeah, I like it.
It's crazy low. Not a lot of flip at all.
No red dots?
No.
Really?
All right, guys, welcome back to 1776 or Bust. We have been shooting out here for a good probably half hour, 45 minutes. So today I actually took out the Caracals, this one being the traditional 3-dot sight, and then obviously this one right here on the table, which is going to be your quick sight. So far, both have been 100% flawless. I mean, just boom, just really, really working and functional. One of the things that I'm picking up quite a bit is this quick sight. If I was going to buy one, it would definitely be this one, just because it's very easy to be able to see the target. You just have to worry about the front bead here, the rear pegs in the back. I mean, it's just a very easy sight system. Is it, you know, world's improved sight picture versus a red dot? Probably not. But, you know, again, the 3-dot traditional sight definitely is not as, in my opinion, easy to locate shooting wise for me compared to this. It's just a different sight picture, but this seems to work a lot better for me. You know, so far, fairly accurate. I would find that, you know, so far, multiple magazines. Again, no failures. It's been awesome. It is really, really a nice flat shooting firearm. One of the things I would say is that the texturing is not as bad as I thought it was going to be, and the trigger is definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, when you're dry firing the gun, the reset's getting a little bit better just by sitting out here shooting, and actually that trigger is getting smoother already just by shooting a couple of 100 rounds through it. But it's actually been a really, really decent trigger, so I can't complain. Overall, pretty good. Can't complain. I shot it actually side by side with the Steyr, but I'll be honest with you, I mean, nothing compares to the Steyr. It's just such an easy gun to shoot, but this is really up there. I mean, like I said, super flat shooting. You can see where my thumb is, just how high my hand is to the slide. It's just, in my opinion, a very well-designed firearm. Not surprisingly with a Bubitz design, but at the same time, you know, what does it really mean for other manufacturers, other guns? This gun might not be the best choice just because of the simple fact it doesn't have the optics capability, and that right away throws people off. But I have to say, so far, this guy right here with this sight picture has been pretty awesome. I like this.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we'll talk a little bit about the Caracal Enhanced F, but first I want to just say a couple of things. It's been a while since I made this video, and one of the things I'm going to say is that I have to say first off that I got these guns from Caracal. These are guns that I did not purchase. This was because of the relationship I've been able to develop with them over the course of 5 years. As many of you know, I got this gun initially 5 years ago, and it was a disaster. It didn't work. I had to stop shooting it after about 50 plus rounds because it just wouldn't function. They took the gun back. They've been really good keeping me up to date with the status of the firearm. Obviously, with COVID, there was a lot of delays in getting parts and components and new manufacturers and distributors. They finally seemed to get everything combined and together the way they needed to. And then we fast forward to now, 5 years later, and I actually have the guns that they sent to me. And I will say right off the bat, thank you, Caracal. A lot of people kept giving me stuff about it because I kept saying, I'm waiting. But I will say it was worth the wait. I mean, both guns function flawlessly. I have nothing to say negative overall about the firearm because I think it does function. For example, with the quick sight, this one here, which is the non-traditional sight picture that this gun has on it, I will tell you I ran about 800 rounds through this gun. Absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. As a matter of fact, the trigger, like I thought, smoothed up pretty well. And you could see it's a lot easier than on the initial video. As a matter of fact, on the initial video I made, I said it was about 5.5 pounds. Now it's pulling about slightly under 4, like 4 pounds, 10 ounces, I think is what I got. And one of the things I'm going to say, I'm not surprised. You can definitely feel that metal on metal contact. And this gun, as a matter of fact, only has about 200 rounds through it. And I can actually still feel the grittiness in the trigger. It's not as bad or pronounced, but I definitely feel it, where I do not feel it in the other gun that has close to 800 rounds. So just keep that in mind. If you buy this gun, you're going to have to run some rounds through it. Now, am I going to tell you to go out and shoot 1,000 rounds, 2,000 rounds so you can prove it? Unless you're getting your ammunition free from companies like many YouTubers get, don't do that. You don't need to, in my opinion. This gun, like I said, I ran about 800 rounds through it of my own ammunition, unfortunately, and it ran great. So I'd say about, 750 would be a good cutoff point, and then you'll see some improvement in that trigger. But again, to each their own. You guys have to decide what you want to do with that. The other thing I'm going to say is that while this gun functioned flawlessly for me, it doesn't mean it will for you. Everybody's going to be different. But I will say that based on my experience with this gun is ready to go, finally. The only problem that I will say about this firearm as a whole is I'm not sure if it's a little too little, a little too late. And the reason why I'm saying that is because 5 years ago when this gun was reintroduced to the market, I love it. I love the way the gun looks. I love the way the gun feels. Again, it's a Bubitz firearm. So if you're a Steyr guy, you know exactly what that means. It just means good stuff, right? The problem is that as we moved forward in those 5 years, the gun did not come out with any real modern features to it that are on par with what you're seeing today. Yes, it's a striker fire gun. Yes, it has a decent trigger overall. Yes, it has great ergonomics, extremely low slide height, but at the same time, no red dot capability. The grip texturing is still a little bit light. So that right there may be a turnoff for a lot of consumers. And that's kind of disappointing. And it's disappointing for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is the consumers changed, right? And Caracal had an ability to maybe revamp the gun just slightly a little bit more before they released them. Now, I understand that they have a lot of these parts that were just sitting there. So you have to use that inventory, because what would be the sense of, trying to change everything up, because you're going to lose so much money in doing that. So I understand that part. But also the detraction number two that I'm saying is the fact that when you look at this gun, the gun has everything you'd want in a firearm, except for some of those features that more modern firearms priced lower actually have. And I think from that standpoint, that's going to be the detraction of the firearm as a whole. I love this gun. I would tell you, if you don't have one and you're looking for something different and something new, go out and get one. You're not going to be disappointed. The problem is that if you're looking for a feature-rich firearm, you're not going to find it. And unfortunately, one of the things that I'm hoping, which again, I'm not too hopeful on, just because of, the history of other firearms who have it. Again, keep in mind, guys, this is a modular format. So your entire trigger control group pops out. So that means that you could switch out, your trigger control group with a different lower, maybe with different configurations. But again, that's going to be based on whether or not Caracal does that. And from what we've seen from the APX, what we've seen from Steyr, and now Caracal, no one else is doing it. No one else is taking advantage of it, except for one company, Sig Sauer. So while I think this is a great gun and I loved shooting it and I had a fun time shooting it, the first video I showed you was a good example of why this gun probably won't be on everybody's, I guess, bucket list firearms. My friend who was shooting with me that day said it perfectly. No red dot. And then said, what kind of gun is that? So unfortunately, there's a lot of unknowns about this firearm because it just doesn't necessarily stand up to 2024. 2019, maybe. But unfortunately, because everybody's moved forward and this didn't, it kind of leaves it in a weird spot, almost like in a limbo of sorts as to what is going to be the selling point of this firearm. Me personally, like I said, if you're looking for something different, something more unique than you normally see in Glock or Smith & Wesson, then pick it up. I think you're going to really enjoy it because, again, extremely well-maintained gun, very well-balanced, nice shooting firearm, great ergonomics, a lot of great things to it. Maybe at some point somebody will have enough ingenuity or mechanical engineering to be able to say, hey, how do I take a slide that looks like this and sits so low already? How do I get a dot cut into here, or excuse me, in the back there? Whoops. But what I'm going to say is if you know anybody and if you want to put them to my channel and have them reach out to me, I will actually send them, probably not this slide until they can get it down, but I will actually send them the 3-dot slide and see if they can mill a dot into this. And then we'll do a review on the channel, see if it's functional. So if you guys know anybody, send them to my way because I'd like to see if that's possible and then see if we can get this gun functional with a red dot on it. But leave some comments down below. Tell me what your thoughts are on this particular firearm. Is it something you're interested in? And if not, why? And I get a feeling I've already addressed why, but I'd like to hear it from you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you don't follow the channel, follow it. And of course, if you like, share the videos. That way somebody will watch it aside from you, my mother, my grandmother, my close family, and that's about it. As always, guys, have a great night. Stay safe, and freedom is never free.